Hi there, and welcome to a video on how to use the databases at the Eastfield College Library for research. So, we're in our class on eCampus, and you see we're under lecture materials for week 9, and we have some helpful research links here. To get to the databases, you can either use the Eastfield Library Catalog search link, or you can get to the big list of databases there. I'm going to open up the Eastfield Library College catalog search so you can see that page. This is what it looks like when you go to the Eastfield Library page. And if you want to search the catalog, you can get into this box and look for books or reference material that they have in the library that you can go and actually get. So if you're local, I encourage you to actually go to the library and look into the catalog there. However, you can do this entirely online, which is okay with me. If you're going to do that, you need to use the databases, and one of your required sources must be from the databases as a peer-reviewed scholarly article. So we're going to click on Articles and Journals. From there, you can see it takes you straight to Academic Search Complete. If you remember back in our class, you can look and see that I told you Academic Search Complete and Opposing Viewpoints are going to be the most useful databases for our assignment. However, if you want to see the big list of databases, you can click on Alphabetical List of Databases, and it'll show you all of them, and you can see that Academic Search Complete is right here at the top, and Opposing Viewpoints is right below it. So I'm going to go into Academic Search Complete. You see that when I try to open the database, I have to log in. Because you're a student at Eastfield College, you have access to this. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So now I'm inside the databases. I put in my name and my ID number to get in, and that's how you'll get in as well. So you do need to know your student ID number to use these databases. The next thing that you want to do is up at the top, you see that you have a search box. Now, the search box, you can start easily by just typing in something you're researching. For example, if you're writing about abortion for your paper, we can type in abortion. Then we can look at the search modes and expanders and kind of see what else is going on here. We have apply related words, search within full text of articles. That's all fine. I would leave that checked. Now down here you see there's this button, Scholarly Peer-Reviewed Journals. Remember that you're required to use a scholarly peer-reviewed journal for this paper. So you need to make sure you do check that so that it pulls up scholarly peer-reviewed journals for you. You also want to think about the publication date. Now we don't want to use anything older than 10 years, so nothing older than 2005. So you can see that you could put 2005 here, don't worry about the month, and then 2015 here. You do see there's a hyphen here. So we're searching only for stuff published between 2005 and 2015, the last 10 years. The rest of this you can probably leave as is and go ahead and search. From here, you see a whole bunch of articles. You actually see that we have 44,438 articles that we can look at. That's a lot of information. We may want to narrow it down a little bit more. Can we do that? Let's look over here on the side. It says limit to. We can limit to references available, scholarly reviewed. We've got our dates. We can say, well, we only want to look inside academic journals. So we click that. And that narrows it down. That cut out about 15,000 articles. We still have quite a bit to look at. But now we know we're in our scholarly articles, we're in academic journals, we know this stuff has all been peer-reviewed. That means we've got some good information. We can usually trust something that is from a scholarly article and it's been peer-reviewed by professionals. So we can kind of skim through here, and this is how you can start looking for information. You want to look for stuff that goes with what you're trying to talk about. So scroll through this. So here's something that might be useful to us. Denial of abortion because of provider gestational age limits in the United States. So let's click on it. This will open up the page. It shows us all these authors, what kind of source it is. It gives us some subject terms. We can scroll down and read the abstract. The abstract is going to kind of tell us what this is about in a concise manner. So it's kind of like the back of a book. It tells you what you're going to read about in a shortened way. It's like a summary. So read that, see if it sounds if it's on the lines of what you're trying to do. If it is, then you can open up the full article, which is over here. We can open up the PDF full text. From there, we can start reading through it, taking notes on what it says, maybe highlighting or writing down parts of it that we think we might actually want to quote in our papers, because we do need to cite direct and indirectly from these things. So we'll cite word for word in quotations from this particular piece if we were going to use it. So you wanted to go through it, check for anything you want to use. You may want to save this. The way you can save it is by going back, and you can say add to folder over here, and you can create a folder. You can also save it this way to your desktop. If you open it up as a PDF, you can make a copy of it too often and save it so that you can use it later or even print it. Now, something that's really awesome about these databases is that they do some of the work for you when you have to do a citation. So your parenthetical citations that go inside the paper, you have to do those yourself. But your works cited entries, this can help you with. So if you look here, it says cite on the right hand link. So let's open up cite. Now here you can see that has a whole bunch of different styles of citation, and you know that we use MLA for this class. So we have to scroll down and find MLA. There it is. So MLA. You can, if you're going to actually use this, you can get your entry right here. You can copy it. You can paste it into your document. Then, make sure that it's in double spaced. Make sure that you have a hanging indentation on it. And then read over it carefully. Make sure that it is actually how it's supposed to look. Make sure that it has the date of publication and all those sort of things. Usually these are pretty trustworthy. They do a pretty good job, but you do want to go through and kind of check over it. Make sure it matches any examples that you've looked at, either from me or from Purdue OWL, that show that it's in the correct format. But this is just a nice thing that the databases do for you. They'll do the MLA citation for your works cited page, which is awesome because it's kind of complicated to do all these little nuances that MLA expects. So that's how you use the databases. If you want to use opposing viewpoints, you can do. It's almost the exact same thing. It's just a different database with different information in it. It's good because you're writing an argument paper. It's called opposing viewpoint, so it's going to pull up a lot of stuff that shows one side or the other. It also does citations for you. You can save it. It's very similar. So definitely want to use these databases to work on your paper. It's perfectly okay if you want to get all of your sources from the databases. You'll use the databases the rest of your time in college, so this is a nice little introduction to using them.